I'll be telling the story of the Snow White and the Red Rose. So once upon a time there was a small village in which there was a woman and her two daughters. And they were Snow White and Red Rose. Both of them were very polite, humble, and kind to everyone. They were also so cheerful of everyone and full of life. Both of them loved their mother, and even the mother loved both of her daughters. Every night they used to sit down, and their mother used to tell them fairy stories. They used to listen to them and go to sleep peacefully. One day, while they were in the story time, there was a knock on the door, and it was fully covered in snow outside. It was winter, uh, and as I said, there was a knock on the door. So they went near the door to open it, and as soon as they opened the door, a bear entered the room. The bear was fully covered with snow and it was shivering. All three of them, the mother and her daughters, were shivering. They didn't know what to do. Um, but it turns out that the bear actually meant no harm. It just needed help as it was covered entirely in snow and it was shivering. It needed something warm to it, and it needed someone's help. So so Snow White and Red Rose, they realized that the bear just needs some help, and they helped it. Um, they cleaned out all the snow from the bear's body. They also fed him hot soup. The bear was very grateful to them, and when it was about to leave, all three of them, the woman, their mother, Snow White and Red Rose, offered him to stay in their house until winter is finished. And the bear, uh, he quite liked it, and he stayed there. They took great care of him, and they took great care of him, and he loved all of them for that. But soon it was time for the bear to leave, as winter came to an end. So bear had his farewell, and then he left. So the next day, after the bear left the house, Snow White and Red Rose went out into the jungle to pick some flowers. So they went into the jungle and they were moving. They were walking, and they didn't find any flowers. At last, they finally found some. But then they also heard a scream from somewhere, and as they were tracking the scream, they saw a small dwarf whose beard was stuck under a broken branch. So they ran to him to help him, and they helped with the dwarf. But to do so, they had to cut his beard, which made the dwarf very incredibly angry. He was so pissed at them that he didn't even thank them for saving his life. The two sisters didn't mind him not thanking them, and they continued their work. But then they heard the screams again, so they ran to help the dwarf again. And this time, his beard was being pulled by a fish. So they cut his beard again, and they noticed something, that as they were cutting his beard, his size was even more decreasing. They didn't know what was happening, but they didn't. Um, but they didn't think that it would mean some harm to them, so they left it. So as they collected their flowers and moving back to their house, they heard another scream, but these screams were not from the dwarf. Instead, they were from a prince. They ran to the prince, and the prince was stuck under a big rock. They helped the prince get out of the rock, and the prince said that he was searching for his brother, who was captured by a small dwarf. Then they understood everything, and why his size has been decreasing when they were cutting his beard. All his power lies in his beard, and if his beard grows to the full length, he could become even a giant. So they started looking for the prince's brother as soon as they helped him. So they were searching, and the two sisters, they finally came across the bear which came to their house in the winter. And this bear was under attack by the dwarf, and the dwarf was no more a dwarf; it became a giant, because its beard grew so long that it became a giant. The sisters and the prince know its weakness. Its weakness is its beard. So if we just cut its beard, its size will decrease, and it can mean no harm. So they cut the giant's beard, and then it became dwarf. They captured the dwarf, and they imprisoned him. Both the sisters married the princess and led a happy life ever after. The moral of the story is that we, we must act smartly in times of dangers, and we need to observe everything. Thank you.